Millefeuille is a classic French dessert that's composed of layers of a flaky puff pastry, vanilla pastry cream, and a striped icing on top. I've literally never met anyone who does not love millefeuille, so if you want to learn how to make this French classic, keep watching. For this recipe, you will need 2 sheets of frozen puff pastry. We are going to defrost it and then place it onto a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. And then we are going to lightly dust the top with sugar. This will help to caramelize the puff pastry. Place another sheet of parchment paper on top and then place another tray on top of that. You need to place a flat surface on top of the puff pastry so the pastry doesn't puff unevenly. Then pop this in the oven at 325 for around 45 minutes or until the puff pastry is crispy and evenly golden brown. If you don't have convection in your oven, I would pull it out halfway and then flip it like a pancake so that both sides are evenly golden brown. Then set this aside to cool completely, and let's move on to our beautiful pastry cream. This is the greatest pastry cream recipe that you will ever encounter in your life, trust me. This pastry cream is shiny, it has a beautiful elastic texture, it's super stable, and it's delicious. In a pot, we are going to place 360 grams or 1.5 cups of milk, 154 grams or 2/3 cup of cream, and 1 scraped vanilla bean, and then gently bring this to a boil. Pro tip, save all of your vanilla bean pods in a Ziploc bag. When you have enough, dehydrate them in the oven and then food process them, and you'll get this beautiful aromatic vanilla bean powder that you can use either as a flavoring or as a decoration. It gives the most beautiful speckled effect onto any dessert. While the milk is heating up, we are going to combine 65 grams or 1/3 cup of sugar and 40 grams or 4.5 tablespoons of cornstarch and whisk that until there are no lumps. Then we are going to add in 90 grams or 5 large egg yolks and whisk that until completely combined. Now we are going to temper the eggs. If you are new here, tempering is a process in which you hit the like and subscribe button, and then we gently bring up the temperature of eggs to create a silky and smooth custard. The way that we do this is by bringing our cream and milk to a boil and then pouring half of that mixture over our egg yolk base while whisking vigorously. Then we pour the egg mixture back into the pot and whisk that until the mixture thickens. Once the pastry cream thickens, we are going to whisk it for an additional minute. That's going to take the pastry cream from powdery and thick to shiny and elastic. Then we are going to add in 130 grams or 1 cup of high quality white chocolate. You want to make sure that you're using a high quality white chocolate because that's going to make all of the difference in this recipe. The chocolate that I'm using is W2 by Barry Callebaut. I love this white chocolate because it's milky, it's full of vanilla aroma, and it's significantly less sweet than others on the market. White chocolate is crucial in this recipe, not only for the flavor and the sweetness, but the cocoa butter that's present in the white chocolate is really what's going to stabilize this pastry cream. Lastly, we are going to immersion blend this until it is completely silky smooth and homogenized. Transfer it to a clean bowl, suffocate it with saran wrap, and allow this to crystallize overnight. Now let's cut our puff pastry. First, I am squaring off the edges, then cutting it into 2-inch strips, and then cutting that in half, which is 3.5 inches. But you can cut it to whatever size you'd like. You're gonna need 3 layers for each millefeuille. And we can begin to assemble. Once your pastry cream is properly crystallized, it should have this beautiful, shiny, elastic texture. I'm just going to paddle it to kind of break the texture up so that it's easier to pipe, and then transfer this into a piping bag fitted with a small round attachment. Here I'm piping kisses along the border of the millefeuille, filling in the center, and then repeating this one more time with the second layer. For the final layer, we are going to make a simple icing, which is 130 grams or 1 cup of confection sugar. And start with 3 tablespoons of heavy cream and just keep adding more until you have a pourable consistency. Then we are going to place a little bit on top and spread it around. Then we are going to take any remaining icing and add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and a bit more heavy cream until we have that same pourable consistency, and transfer this into a piping bag and just cut a tiny little hole off the tip. Now I placed our top layer on a cooling rack and piped back and forth, and using a sharp knife or toothpick, drag the icing in a few lines and then drag in between those lines in the opposite direction. Place this layer on the top of the Mille Feuille, and we are all ready to dig in.
Girl, come on to me. Come over here and perform for me. Come over here and perform for me. I'm on it. Give me the.
Baby boy, stay on my mind.
Just give me the light. I'm on it. Give me the. You know, realize I am the DJ, so me take up the mic and dance. Just give me the light and pass the joe. Make you feel like you're in control. Yeah, let me know my sides and I got to know which one is gonna catch my flow, cause I'm in the vibes and I got my dough.
Hey guys, that is it for another recipe. Let's dig in. How do you guys eat Mille Feuille gracefully? Because I'm not about to try to stick this entire thing into my mouth because I have quite a small mouth. So what I usually do is I split it into 2 layers, but as you can see, this is not an equal opportunity because in this bite I'm not gonna get the icing, and then in this bite I am gonna get the icing. That kind of stresses me out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little nibble from this one and then a little nibble from this one. Then this one. If you have taste buds, you will love this dessert. It's so simple, but it's so good. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below some holiday inspired desserts that you guys want to see in the future, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!